guys, it's Shannon, and today I'm going to be going through everything I made in 2025. Forgot what year it was last year. So 2025 was the year I learned to crochet. So I made a lot. But I figured I'd just go for everything. I don't have 99% of what I made because either it was a gift for someone or my son stole it. My son is just a slight thief when it comes to my crochet stuff. I'm going to do another video about what I'm hoping to make this year and what I've already started and what I started last year that's going to be hopefully finished this year. So that's all going to be in one video, so I will make a video about that. Please excuse all this, just ignore it. Just ignore it. I do. I'm tired. Anyway, this isn't just crochet, it is also sewing and painting. Yeah, I painted something this year as well. I'm going to put pictures up around here somewhere. So I hope you enjoy. Let's just hope I can edit that together. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the very first thing I made, and then everything else is going to be in random order. I have a book in front of me that I've actually been putting everything I made in. I've been doing photos and how long it took me when I finished it, and who it was for, why I made it, blah blah blah. That is right here in this book. And do you know what it says? Funnily enough, it actually says 2025, a year of crafting. I did not finish the book. I did not fill it. So I'm going to put, I'm going to add /26 onto it, and hopefully I'll finish it this year. I should. It's over half full, so I should. Anyway. This is going to be a long one with me talking a lot. So I'm going to be reaching for a drink a decent amount. Got my new cup. James's dad got it for me. Oh, I don't think I've posted an actual video about this. Me and James's dad broke up. Happened months ago. It was amicable-ish. It's amicable. The relationship wasn't going well, so we've called it quits. I'm still living with him because I can't afford to live anywhere else. I'm going to find somewhere else to live with James. All's fine, all's dandy, sorted. But just putting it out there, we've separated. That's why he is now James's dad, not my partner. James's dad. Okay, cool, right. Very first thing I made was a reindeer. Because apparently I wanted to jump in with both feet and start with toys. I didn't find out until after the fact that you should start with something easy, and toys are not easy. I had mentioned to James's dad and my sister that I wanted to learn to crochet. So they brought me some crochet box kits. This reindeer was one of them. It was very cute. It was hard, but it was very cute. And I literally did that in January, apparently. The next thing I did was same company, crochet box, a Highland cow. You definitely don't know this. I love Highland cows. By the way, both those toys, James has stolen. The next thing I did was for James's World Book Day. It was his first World Book Day for his nursery. I took a jumper. I got a jumper. And I painted the Gruffalo Stickman, the Gruffalo's Child, and the mouse on it. So I did Gruffalo on the front. I did a Stickman on one arm. He took up the whole arm. And then on the other arm I did Gruffalo's Child and then the mouse on the back. And then on the back of the whole thing I did a signpost that said The Gruffalo and Friends by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. Again, I will put pictures. Some of these pictures are pictures of pictures because I lost the original picture. Where'd that do? Whatever. So some of them are pictures of pictures out of this book, funnily enough. Okay. I made a dog. Just a little dog. I made a little dog. And the reason this came about was actually because I made a cat. So first I made a cat and then I made a dog. and I made a little black cat for my mum's partner for Father's Day. And it was supposed to be my cat's Felix. And then my sister saw it and was like, can you do a dog version? Because she has a dog, and she was like, can you do a dog version, make it look like my dog? I was like, yeah, sure, I can try. That's how this came to be. I made a dog. Another crochet box kit. I made a little owl. These crochet boxes kits, these ones, they've recently come out with more where they actually have like appendages, but these ones are literally just balls, and then you attach, like in this case I had to attach eyes, wings, beak and a tail for the owl. I went on a freaking crazy mission to make all the baskets in the world apparently, because I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I made 6 baskets. I made 1 for my mum, I made 2 for James, partially because he ruined one by accident, so I made him a new one, and then I made 3 for myself. So they're just like they're supposed to be the scrap yarn baskets, but I made them out of t-shirt yarn, so they were really sturdy. I loved making them. They were great. They hurt my hands a lot though. Okay, and then I made a bee, which was some sort of kit. I know it was a kit. I can't remember what the kit was though, and I apparently didn't write it down. The next thing in here, actually I can actually show you because it's right here. I made myself this crochet hook roll to keep what was at the time my favourite set of crochet hooks in. I got this fabric in Hobbycraft. I do believe this is from the WI. It's just got bees on. Got bees on. It was really cute. The fabric inside also has bees. And then my crochet hooks are in here, and then it's got there's a ruler, a little ruler, you see there, and then a little fold up pair of scissors, and then in this one there's just like a little wooden tube that's got needles in. At some point I'm going to attach a hoop or a D-ring or something here to put stitch markers on. But this set, as you can see, it just hangs on my wall now for when I'm up here. Next is bunting that I made for my son's bedroom wall. His favourite movie and his very big special interest is Cars. Well, yeah, Cars in general, but mainly the movies and the series and the mini-series and everything to do with Lightning McQueen. So I made him some bunting for his bedroom. We have gone for an entirely Cars theme for his bedroom. It was just 6 triangles, and then with the scraps I sewed them together to make the string. So, same with the baskets. I went on a bit of a tirade of making bandanas. I made 5. I made a purple one, I made a rainbow one with a white border, I made a just rainbow one, and I made a blue and black one. I think the blue and black one's around here somewhere. Next, I made my mum a bag for her birthday. So I brought a kit, and I made the bag. So the kit was just the base and the handle. And I was like, I can do this. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Does she love it? Yes, she uses it every damn day. So I made, again, for my mum's birthday, gonks, gnomes, whatever you want to call them. I suppose it depends on where you're from as to what you call them. I did 2 in t-shirt yarn. They're the ones that my sister gave to my mum. And I did 1 more, so I did 3 gonks in total. That I gave to my mum. This really kick-started my love for these for amigurumi, but also for crochet in general. So I actually made 5 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I know what you're saying, there's only 4. I know there's only 4. I made the red one. I can't remember their names. But I made the red one. James stole it. Which is fine, because the first time I'm making something, I don't want to gift it to someone, because this was my cousin's birthday present. So the first time I'm making something, I don't want to gift it to them, because it never comes out okay, which is proven because James has been able to pull the ends out. So I then figured out what I did wrong, and I went on to make all 4 of them all over again for my cousin, and she loved them. One of them looks a little funky because I put the eyes too close together. And then to go along with those, I made scrunchies to go with the colours, so that, you know, she could have the colours in her hair as well. But they do kind of look like flowers. They do kind of look like flowers. Next thing in this book came towards the end of the year because it was James's part of James's Christmas present. I made James a granny hexagon cardigan. First one I had ever made. I'm actually halfway through making another one, but first one I ever made. It's in his favourite colours: blue, purple and red. Does it look the best? No. The sleeves are wrong. I couldn't figure out how to do the cuffs at the time, and I was on a time crunch. I attached dinosaur buttons. The dinosaur buttons are purely for aesthetic purposes. They do not work. There is nowhere for the buttons to go. But you know what? James likes it. Okay, next thing in this book is... Oh! I made collar charms for my auntie and cousin's dogs. Yeah. As you could probably tell, I figured out how to make scrunchies. And then I went on a tirade. A tirade? A hyperfocus? Craziness of making scrunchies. First one I ever made was blue. It's actually over there, I think. Let me see. This is the first scrunchie I ever made. As you can see, it's looking a little bit worse for wear. Because A, it's the first one I ever made. I didn't know how to use velvet yarn yet. Because these are not ends, funnily enough. It is just yarn that has kind of... it was too long. This, however, is an end. Because I couldn't figure out how to weave my ends in on scrunchies properly. But that's an end. But the rest of these little scragglers are just from where I didn't know how velvet yarn worked. And I use this a lot. I use this all the time. After making that and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle scrunchies, I went on a bit of a crazy spin and I made 2 for my sister. And then at Christmas, I decided every person that I knew that had long hair, it's basically all the women that I knew, was going to get some scrunchies. And I made 41 scrunchies in a week. Next thing I made was for my son's dad. It is a faux leather strap. The leather has a print on it of a sloth sitting in some leaves or something. I made one of these for James. So because I've been getting into crochet, James has been watching me. Please do bear in mind, my son is 4. And he kept wanting to pinch my hooks. Now, me and his dad made a decision that for Christmas we would get him his own set of crochet hooks. Plastic ones, which I know are not the best for crocheting. However, his version of crocheting is basically just stabbing the ball with a hook. So, for now it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I made him his own crochet roll, and then when he gets older and he actually takes an interest in crocheting properly, I'll get him a set of metal hooks. I made some bags this year, so I made 2 bags that were granny squares in a pattern. I'll put them here. Here and here. One has sunflowers and one was yarn that I had and I wanted to use up. So I did that. This next thing is slightly terrifying. I made this for my ex-mother-in-law for Christmas. It's supposed to be the Grinch. This was my first attempt at freehanding a toy, specifically. It's slightly terrifying. Next, I, again, went crazy, focused on bees, and I made 1, 2, 3, 4 bees that were about this big. Next, similar thing, but ghosts. I went a bit crazy and I made 6. They were fluffy ones, and then I also made 4 little glow-in-the-dark ones that were about this big. The fluffy ones were much bigger. The next thing I was the most, well, I say the next thing, it's the next thing in the book, not necessarily the next thing I made. I made this for my friend for Christmas, and she loved it. And actually she loved it that much she actually started crocheting herself. But it is a strawberry a strawberry book sleeve. For my sister-in-law, I made a harness and leash for her toy dog, and she was really happy with it, so she enjoyed it. And I'm so glad she did, because this thing was such a pain to make. I made another bag. I made a granny square bag, different to the other ones. This one was just 2 giant granny squares, and then I like crocheted them together so that it had thick sides and bottom, and then a strap. The next thing I did was I painted a canvas. This was a present for James for Christmas. It's actually up in his room at the moment. It's something else I sewed other than the bunting and then 2 of these. I made a pencil case for my little sister. I made my son a lovey. So this is a Pikachu lovey, because for whatever reason he is obsessed with Pikachu. I wonder why. I also started to experiment with wearables. Apparently I wanted to try fucking everything with crochet. I made fingerless wrist warmer glove things. They do have a thumb hole. I didn't do the best job with figuring out where the thumb hole had to go, but they're for me, they fit, they keep my wrists warm, so it works. I also made a ear warmer headband thing, and the other thing I made was a hooded snood, which I love that thing, honestly. It keeps me so warm and cozy and toasty, and just, I love it. I love it. I actually really do love that thing. Yeah, so my mum saw them and she wanted them too, except for the hooded snood. So I made her a headband, the gloves, and a regular scarf, circular scarf thing. This next thing, again, also slightly terrifying, but again, James loves it. This is Pingu Lovey. I tried freehanding this. I was gonna kind of like adapt the Pikachu pattern, but the feet were like made onto it, and I couldn't figure out how to do it without the feet, and I wanted to have big flippers for the feet because it's a penguin. I made 2 sets. I made a regular set and then I made a Christmas set because I am Christmas crazy. So I made, how many times am I going to say I made 2 sets? At Christmas time, I made some decorations with my son. We got the clay out, and we made a whole bunch of decorations. Hooded snood, I made one for James as well. But because James wears ear defenders most of the time, but all the time when we're out of the house, I wanted to make him something where it would keep his neck warm. He wouldn't be able to get it off that easily because scarves he just like, but he wouldn't be able to get it off that easily, but it would go over his ear defenders. So I did a child size circular scarf thing with an adult sized hood. Does it look a bit weird? Yes. Does it work? Also yes. James doesn't like the sound of paper near his ears. I made him a paper crown. I also made myself a Christmassy headband, just a regular headband to keep my hair out my face. Next, I made a snowman apron for, guess who? My son. This is the Grinch that I made. That came to Scotland with us. I made this tiny little bag because we drove to Scotland and it's more like a 15 to 16 hour drive, so I wanted just a little bag that I could keep my purse, my phone and my ID in, to get in and out of the car with, and also keep James's radar key on, just to get in and out of the car with, so I could take this tiny little bag with me everywhere rather than having to lug my backpack around. This is the aforementioned Robin that does not fit in my cousin's cup. He's in her cup holder instead. This was a crochet box kit that I adapted because this is supposed to be an ice cream. I didn't think it looked like an ice cream. I thought it looked like a hot chocolate, so I made it into a hot chocolate and I added the handle. Not showing that one because it has my friend's son's name on it, but it is just a key ring. It's got his name, it's the silicone beads, it's got his name, and then it's got some Christmas beads on either end. But I'm not going to be showing that one because it's got his name, obviously. That's everything I made in 2025. Been a bit of a iffy year, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's hope 2026 is a better year with new things to come. I hope you enjoyed your New Year and your Christmas, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.